Hello and welcome. Have you ever stumbled across something so strange that you couldn't stop thinking about it? That's exactly what happened to me. I was walking through Rose Hill Cemetery in Idaho Falls when I happened to look over and I saw two neighboring headstones. One read Ware and the other read Wolf. My brain instantly read them together, Werewolf. At first, I thought it was just a bizarre coincidence, but then again, I don't even believe in coincidences. Anyways, then someone told me this was actually one of Rose Hill Cemetery's most well-known local legends, and that's when I asked the question that started this entire journey. Who were the people behind these names? Welcome to the very first episode of Buried Truths, the stories behind the stones. I'm Beth. In this series, we're uncovering the real history behind the headstones, separating documented history from local folklore, and remembering the people whose stories have nearly been forgotten. Every headstone has a name, every name has a story. Some stories become legends, others are almost forgotten. This is case file number 001, the Werewolf Graves. Let's open the file. Before we begin digging into the history, you need to know the legend. For years, people in Idaho Falls, Idaho have shared stories about what's become known as the Werewolf Graves at the Rose Hill Cemetery. The legend began with two neighboring family plots. One bears the name Ware, the other bears the name Wolf. When read together, it's werewolf. Over time, people began telling stories. Some believed the names couldn't possibly be a coincidence. Others claimed strange things happened near the graves. One version of the legend even says the headstones were moved farther apart because it attracted so much attention. Today, however, the stones can be found side by side. Like many local legends, there isn't just one version. The story has been passed from generation to generation, with each person remembering it a little differently each time. Whether you believe the legend or not, it raises an interesting question. How did two ordinary family names become one of Idaho Falls' most enduring cemetery stories? And maybe an even better question, who were the people behind those names? To answer those questions, we have to travel back in time. Frank Wilbur Ware was born in 1870. At that time, Idaho Falls wasn't even called Idaho Falls. Bet you didn't know that. Bet you didn't know that Idaho Falls was not, it didn't start out as Idaho Falls. That was a shocker to me. It was known as Eagle Rock, a small frontier settlement growing along the Snake River. When Frank was born, the railroad hadn't yet transformed the town into what it would become. In 1891, Eagle Rock officially changed its name to Idaho Falls. During Frank's lifetime, this community grew from a frontier settlement into a thriving town. The streets he walked, the businesses, the businesses he passed, the neighbors he knew, were all part of a town still writing its own history. Today, more than 64,000 people call Idaho Falls home. Back then, almost everyone knew everyone. I feel like it was a very emotional time because every time I try to read this story, I get choked up, and I get emotional around this. And I'm just wondering if maybe this is them, they're so emotional to see how far Idaho Falls has come, right? And how many people are actually calling Idaho Falls home today. Back then, almost everyone knew everyone, and it's very possible that if someone had asked, have you seen Shorty Ware? Most people would have known exactly who they meant. So, who was Frank Wilbur Shorty Ware? Who was William Wolf? Who was Gertrude Wolf? Were they neighbors, friends? Did they even know each other? Or did fate simply place their names side by side, creating one of Idaho Falls' most fascinating local legends? Those are the questions we're setting out to answer. This isn't a ghost hunt. This isn't about proving legends true or false. It's about uncovering the lives of real people through historical records, newspaper articles, census records, photographs, maps, and local history. We'll separate documented fact from local folklore while preserving both as part of Idaho Falls' story, because before these names became part of a legend, they belonged to real people, and they deserve to be remembered. Today, the stones are still found side by side, and it isn't historical evidence confirming those claims. Like many local legends, the story has changed over time as it's been passed down person to person. Whether you believe the legend or believe it's simply a remarkable coincidence, one thing is certain. For decades, these two names have become part of Idaho Falls folklore. But here's what I couldn't stop thinking about. Who were these people? We have to step into the Idaho that Frank Ware and the Wolf family once knew. A time when Idaho Falls was still a young community, when neighbors knew one another by name. It's about discovering the people whose lives became intertwined with a story that has lasted for generations. Over the coming episodes, we'll search through newspaper articles, historical records, census documents, old maps, family histories, and anything else we can uncover to piece together the lives of Frank Ware, William Wolf, and Gertrude Wolf, and the families behind the stones. Maybe we'll answer every question. Maybe we'll uncover even more mysteries. But one thing is certain. Before these names became part of a legend, they belonged to real people. And those people deserve to be remembered. So join me next time as we officially open case file number 001 and begin uncovering the life of Frank Wilbur Shorty Ware. Until then, history isn't buried. It's waiting to be uncovered. I'm Beth, and this is Buried Truth, the stories behind the stones. I'll see you in the next case file.
Ain't no fear left. Kill that voice inside. Yeah. I woke up late, now I don't sleep. Mind on fire, pressure too deep. Cold nights turn me into steels. Now I don't bend, I don't feel. Back then I was stuck in doubt. Now I move like I figured it out. They talk loud, I move low. That's the code, they don't know. Pain hit, I absorbed that. Turned every loss to a combat. No breaks, no fallback plan. I built me a different man. No handouts, I took that route. No shortcut, I dug it out. They won't shine, don't want grind. That's the